Summer League sensation Tacko Fall is here, and Tacko, obviously you got a ton of attention at Summer League with the Celtics. What has it kind of been like the last couple months, becoming kind of a national celebrity a little in some ways?
It's been crazy, to say the least. Not just in Boston, pretty much everywhere I've been. Now people are just everywhere I've been. Like, hey, Taco. But I kind of got used to it now. And like I say so many times, I just feel blessed to be in this position, be a part of a great organization, and have the opportunity to keep growing.
Obviously, you had a decorated career at Central Florida. You get to play in Summer League with the Celtics. Now that you come to training camp, what are your goals in your first training camp here in the NBA?
Just come and showcase what I can do and show that I can really play at this level, and also learn as much as possible from all these guys, all the vets that are here, the new guys, the guys that's been here, and especially a coach like Brad Stevens. And for me, it's a matter of getting better every day, and I see that just being in training camp as an opportunity to do that.
What was the reason why you chose the Celtics in the beginning to go to Summer League with them and eventually to sign with them this summer and come into training camp in Boston?
Just the culture here at the Celtics. I knew that coming here, they would help me develop, and I'll be part of a great organization who really care about their players. And I knew that coming here, I'd be very well taken care of. So.
And being in Boston, obviously a championship city, has been won both recently and in the past in the case of the Celtics. What has that been like, being around a city with the amount of championship pedigree among the various teams in the city?
You can tell the difference. I mean, I've been in Orlando for a lot of years, and coming into Boston, you could tell that the fans were really involved, and that just shows just the culture that they have here in Boston in every sports, whether it's football, baseball, basketball. All they know is winning. So for me, I feel blessed to be part of that.
Obviously, you got a chance to spend a lot of time with Jaylen and Jayson and Marcus Smart with Team USA this summer. How did that help in terms of building chemistry with your new teammates and getting ready for this new season?
It helped a lot. With us being together, for that amount of time, those guys getting to know me, me getting to know those guys, it was a great experience for all of us. And I think, we're going to take some things that we learned, from being a part of USA basketball and, kind of bring it here, into our season. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
What was that whole experience like for you, being, kind of one of the leaders of that team and, obviously didn't have the result you guys wanted in the end, but what was it all like for you?
It was a dream come true. To be able to play for Team USA, that's something I've dreamed about for a very long time, to play on that level. And to be one of the leaders, under Coach Pop, I couldn't ask for more. Like you said, very unfortunate that we didn't get a chance to pull the wins out like we wanted to, but unbelievable experience, and I wouldn't change anything.
I think you got sick towards the end of Team USA. Did you lose some weight while you were there?
Nah, I didn't lose no weight. I got a little bit sick, but nah, I ain't lose no
weight. This is obviously your first new training camp in a long time, right? I mean, you were in Charlotte for 8 years. Mm-hmm. What is different about being here besides obviously a new city? Like, what do you have to do differently to kind of get acclimated to a new team and a new city and a new coaching staff and everything else?
I'm not sure. I wish I could tell you, but this is only my second team that I'm a part of. So, I'm just taking it day by day, going with the flow. Trying my best to, just kind of be myself as much as possible. Bring great energy, bring, great enthusiasm, and, go from there.
There's obviously going to be a lot of comparisons to Kyrie Irving, your predecessor at the point guard spot here, another great player. Is that something you think about? How do you kind of manage that as the year goes along?
No, that's not what I think about. I mean, I know it comes with the territory, but at the end of the day, Kai is in Brooklyn now, and I'm here. We're trying to just, start something new. It's new for me. It's new for these guys as well. But I'm here to, bring some leadership. Have fun with these guys, and compete at the highest level every night.
It's a lot of guys who need the ball in their hands on this team. A lot of really talented offensive players, you included. You're used to having the ball a lot, running a lot of high pick and rolls, kind of running the show, right? Obviously a great problem to have, but how do you guys kind of balance that coming into the year, trying to make everybody get enough touches to be satisfied in the offense and make everything run safely?
We'll figure it out. We're all professionals, and the most important thing is we're all very high character, and we want to win. We want to get along. I'm very easy to get along with, so are these other guys. So we'll figure it out. A lot of us are very unselfish as well. So, I'm very excited to be, playing with guys of this caliber. These guys can really hoop. they can really make plays, and I'm looking forward to it.
And to that end, this is clearly the most talent you've ever had a chance to be around in your career. How are you going to manage the expectations of this group that obviously last year had high expectations and couldn't quite live up to them?
I'm just going out to play basketball. That's really it. I'm not really into the outside noise and expectations and things of that nature. I'm just going to go out there and trust in my hard work and just do what I can to win games. That's all I can really do.
Enes Kanter is here, fresh off a 50-state tour with basketball camps this summer. It ended in Boston on Saturday. What led you to decide to go all around the country like that, and what was the experience like?
I remember when our season over last year, we had a team meeting and everybody was talking about how they're just going to go home and play video games all day, how they're just going to go to the beach and take times off day. I was like, it's a waste of time. We have so much ability to go out there and just inspire millions of kids. So I just was like, you know what? I asked my manager, what's the record by an NBA player do most basketball game in one summer? He told me it's 9. So I was like, let's do something crazy. We organized actually 50 free basketball camps on 30 states, and it turned out to be amazing. And because every basketball camp was packed, and I think put a smile on kids' face, definitely priceless.
Yeah. Why? I mean, obviously 9 is one number, right? But you went to 50. Like, you're a guy who likes to kind of go above and beyond.
Yes.
Why did you decide to go that far above?
Well, because I just want to give back to America, not just the city or state I play for, because America gave me so much. America gave me home. The special American people just, supported me throughout my whole career, on and off the court. So that's why I was like, you know what, I want to give back to whole America, not just the city I play for. So that was one of the reasons.
I mean, the international side of your history has been, in the news the last couple of years. Is there any clarity yet on what your situation is going to be? Obviously, you're in the division now with Toronto.
Yes.
Do you know if you'll be able to go to those games? Is that still something that's being worked on, or have you gotten clarity yet?
Well, we're actually still working with the U.S. senators in Boston, Mr. Ed Markey and Elizabeth Warren. So I think they're going to send a letter to Justin Trudeau, see if we can get a promise. Because if the Turkish government puts my name on Interpol with that red notice, then they have to deport me back to Turkey. So that's why we're still working on that issue. But of course, I mean, and our most special game, a Christmas game, is on.
Right. That's right.
Canada. So that's why I'm like, I want to go there and do my job. But just because of all that stuff's going on, it's pretty sad. But you know what? I'm becoming an American citizen 21, so I'm pretty excited about that.
October 21st, you are?
2021.
Oh, in 2021. Got you.
June 15, and I'm actually even thinking about adding an American name.
Oh, really? You thought about a name yet?
I have not. But I'm open for any suggestions you have any give me.
Okay. Obviously, you had a memorable playoff run last year in Portland. You guys got to the conference finals. You played through a shoulder injury. This summer you chose to sign with the Celtics. Kind of what led you to decide that Boston was the place for you to continue your career after that, really strong run with Portland to get that far in the playoffs?
Probably, just coming back east and just try to win it here. Obviously, the history is obvious and is one of the well-run organizations in the league. And I think just the players, like players like Kemba, Jayson and Jaylen and Gordon. I obviously played with Gordon 3.5 years. That was one of the biggest reasons. But same time with Coach Brett, obviously he's the type of coach that tells you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And obviously he gives the freedom. So it's been fun. So it's going to be an exciting season. You
mentioned your time with Gordon, and coming off his injury last year, he was a bit up and down, kind of getting his legs back under him. But he stayed here in Boston this summer. The reports have been really encouraging about how he's looked. Have you gotten a chance to play with him at all in pickup? And kind of what are your expectations for him coming into this season?
I did. Well, I go against him. I went against him last year, and compared to this year, I mean, he got so much confident, and he feels so comfortable out there. And I think I had a chance to go against him 5-on-5, and he looked amazing, in really good shape. He should be. I even told the press before that he should be definitely start eyeing the All-Star.
That would certainly be a good thing for the Celtics. What are your expectations for this group this season? You mentioned the amount of talent you guys have all around you. How far do you think this team can go?
I feel like we have something really special. If we stay together and willing to learn and just go out there and just play hard, play smart, and have fun, I feel like we can beat every floor. But like I said, we just have to focus on what we need to focus on, and avoid the outside talk, because there's gonna be a lot of distraction. Just don't listen. Just focus on us and just go out there and do our job.
Here with Team USA's Jayson Tatum, in addition to the Boston Celtics. And Jayson, obviously you hurt your ankle, kind of disappointing end to Team USA. Are you feeling good as you get into training camp and are all ready to go?
Yeah, feeling good now. Excited for tomorrow and this week and the beginning of the season.
You got a chance to spend a lot of time not only with Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart with Team USA, but Kemba Walker, your new point guard. What did that experience do for kind of helping build chemistry with him and the rest of the guys coming into the season?
It was a great experience. We built a lot of chemistry. Like, we did everything together. We was on the road for 7 weeks, 6 or 7 weeks, so we had no choice but to bond on a bunch of team meals and 17-hour flights and things like that. So we got to enjoy each other's company.
There's been in the past a bunch of guys who come out of that Team USA experience and had a big boost going to their next season. A lot of young guys in particular. What did you take from that experience, and how can that kind of help you have a big breakout here in your third season?
I really enjoyed playing with USA. Favorite part was really just the coaching staff. Jay Wright, Lloyd Pierce, Steve Kerr, and Coach Pop. Coach Pop is, I only got to spend a short stint with him, but I love him. He's the best, and he reminds me a lot of Coach K, and I'm fortunate to get to play for two of the best.
What stood out in the way those two guys are similar?
They're just exceptional leaders, and they really know how to get the most out of their players.
What did you learn from last season? What was your biggest takeaway from how it played out?
Man, biggest takeaway, there's a lot of things to talk about, but
You can go through them all if you want.
I just prefer to talk about this coming up season. Last year's behind us. We got a new team. It's a new year, so just ready for a fresh start.
In terms of a fresh start, what do you think? With a new group here, with Kemba here running the show, what is going to allow this team to be able to do some of the things you guys wanted to do last year and could not?
It starts on the defensive end when you think about the Celtics. That's where we hold our hat on, and we get stops and make the right play. We try to get the best shot every time, and we'll be successful.
Here with Marcus Smart, the vet on the Celtics now, and I guess I'll start with that. You've obviously been in Boston for a minute now, but as kind of the elder statesman in the room, what is that feeling like for you?
Just being the longest team Celtic is a feeling that I think anybody playing with Boston would love to have. Just being the longest shows, that obviously, the organization loves you and wants you to be around, so, that you're still here for a reason. And, it's an honor in itself.
What was your experience like with Team USA this summer, and in particular, getting a chance to spend a lot of time with Kemba? Getting Jaylen and Jayson there, obviously you've been around those guys a long time, but the process of integrating new teammates is never easy. So what did you learn about him, during that period with Team USA?
With Team USA, first off, I know I could speak for every last one of us that played. We had a great experience. Although we didn't get the outcome that we wanted, we still went out there and gave it everything we had, and it's hard to go and play against a bunch of people who hate you, in a sense. So, I'm proud of everybody that gave the effort. And being able to have Kemba to start the way, knowing that he's going to be our teammate, and to get that extra rep of chemistry with him was important for us. And, he fits right in. We talked to him, and the way we hung out and the way we just kind of associated and communicated with each other, it felt like he's been there for years with us. So it was a great feeling.
Obviously, for you, it was a frustrating experience. You had to deal with a bunch of injuries and get a chance to play as much as you would have liked. How are you feeling now, and are you fully ready to go here as we get started?
I'm feeling great. Fully healthy, finally, and I'm just ready to get back out there.
Was that even more frustrating for you than the wins and losses in China, that you just couldn't really participate the way you wanted to?
Definitely. Even in the game we lost, I was, babying a hand injury and, still trying to go out there and give everything I had, but not being able to be on the court with those guys and helping those guys to reach our goal was probably the most devastating part for me, just because of the competitive nature that I am. And like I said, we built a relationship, every last one of those players on the USA team, with one another, so not being out there hurt.
What was the biggest takeaway you had from last season, the way it played out, and kind of having a chance now to look back on it and think about it?
I guess the outlook I have on this, it's a new day, new opportunity. We tried it. Things just didn't work. We learned from those, and now we know what to do, so hopefully we don't make those same mistakes that we did last year.
I don't mean to say this as a criticism of anybody who wasn't here, but just being here at Media Day, there feels like a lot of energy, maybe a different vibe around the team. Did you sense that even in the time you guys spent together this summer that, other people have kind of said they want to have a fresh start and kind of look at things differently? Is everybody kind of collectively trying to turn the page and kind of have a different mentality and outlook on things as you guys get started?
I definitely can say we have. Those time that I spent with those guys at USA with Jayson, Jaylen, and Kemba, all we talked about was this season, what we expect, what we want to do, and, how ready we are to get back to Boston and get to work. So, and, we got a bunch of new guys, young guys here who's eager to learn and hungry, and that's what we need. They're new minds like sponges, and they're ready to soak everything up that we give to them.
And as this team comes into the season, last year you guys had really high expectations, didn't quite live up to them. Pretty high expectations again this year. How are things going to be different, do you think, this time around?
I think this time around the difference is, it's not a surprise for us. We know what not to do, what to do, what it takes, what it doesn't take, and the feeling of disappointing not just the fans but yourself. And so we understand it, so we can prepare a little bit better for it.
You made the decision to stay here in Boston this summer and work out here at the facility. What led you to do that, and how much do you think you got out of the last few months getting a chance to work out here with everybody?
Yeah, it was a great summer for me. I kind of wanted to build on the momentum that I had at the end of last year, and working with the coaches and the staff was really good for me, and I appreciate all the work that they did for me this offseason. But it really just helped me build some confidence. Having an offseason where I had no restrictions, no surgeries, anything like that, was really good. So it helped my confidence.
Like you said, last year was kind of a building process for you as you went along. Things kind of steadily, your minutes went up, your strength came back. How much different does it feel for you today as opposed to a year ago, just in terms of, obviously your recovery and where you're at physically and mentally?
Yeah, no, it feels a lot different. I think having a full summer, kind of get as many reps as I want, really helps me out, especially mentally. But then also having last year, getting back to playing actual games and kind of getting acclimated to the system and the guys on the team was really important. So hopefully I can build on some of that momentum that I was carrying last year.
You mentioned kind of building on the confidence you had. The universal opinion coming out of the building, anybody I've talked to, is that you've looked great all summer. You've been playing really well, and you look great on the court. In terms of kind of seeing that confidence on the court, are there things you're doing that you couldn't do 6 months ago? Is there anything kind of like that you've seen progression-wise, or is it just a matter of mentally, like, kind of getting yourself back in the right frame of mind?
Yeah, I think more than anything, it's the mental aspect of it. I think, like I said, having those reps, being able to train as hard as I want, and not having to worry about, only doing a certain amount of things, or worry about my ankle and how that feels has been really helpful for me. So really just having that comfort when I'm on the court.
For you personally and for the team as a whole, what are your goals for this season?
I think the goal remains the same. I mean, we were trying to win a title here in Boston, and so that hasn't changed at all. And as far as me individually, I think just trying to help us get there, doing whatever I can to help us do that is what I'm about, and so I'm really just excited about getting that going.
You mentioned the way last year went before, and kind of the experience you went going through it. But as a team and as a group, what was the biggest thing you learned from the way last year played out?
I think the biggest thing you learn is just, nothing's going to be handed to you, especially in this league. I think everyone expected us, and they kind of just handed it to us like we were going to walk to the finals, and that's just not the case, especially in this league. And so that's something for sure that I think we all learned. And this year no one's really saying that, and I think it's kind of nice to have that change and kind of be kind of left out of all those discussions.
I was going to say, this is a group that, despite the talent in the room, is not quite seen in the same light as last year, even though you guys added an all-star in Kemba Walker, and you're going to be, presumably a different player this year, I think you'd say. Do you think in some ways that is going to be a benefit, that there isn't going to be the weight of expectations on this group that was there last year?
Yeah, I mean, I think just for us, I think it might help us kind of block out some of the noise, and that can sometimes be a reason why a team's not doing that great. And so for us, it's going to have to be making sure that we're playing together. And I think we've already had time together to build some chemistry. And certainly the guys that were on the World Cup team had some chemistry too. So all those things will help us.
Jaylen, you got a chance to spend a lot of time with not only longtime teammates Jayson Tatum and Marcus Smart with Team USA this summer, but also Kemba Walker. What was the experience like with him, getting a chance to get to know him and kind of start that chemistry building process early?
It was a great experience. Obviously, it didn't end how we wanted it to, but everything happens for a reason. So we don't know what that reason is yet, but we're going to keep working until we find out. And being with those guys, you know, building that relationship, being away from friends, being away from family, outside of the country, you start to learn a little bit more about each other. So it was great.
Overall for you, you know, a lot of guys go into Team USA and they kind of come out of it. Young guys get the chance to really kind of take off the next year. Like, what in particular did you learn about, you know, kind of the game and about yourself this summer, and how can that translate to, you know, you having a big season with the Celtics?
When you put yourself in that environment with those coaching staff, with peers, you know, Pop, you know, Coach Kerr, and then also being in an environment with all those good talent and players that you get to play against and play with, it's kind of hard not to get better, you know. So I'm looking forward to this year. I'm not putting any expectations on it, but my mantra is kind of just hoop, you know, just come out and play basketball. No pressure, no need to look over your shoulder, and just see what happens.
I should have asked at the beginning, but this is a new look for you for people who've seen you play for a long time. What led to the hair change?
Just making some big changes, man. I just wanted to look in the mirror and see something different. So making some big changes, ready to step into a new year, new season, new energy, new light, all of the above. Just come out and have a new beginning.
One new potential thing that people have talked about with you is the potential for a new contract extension over the next few weeks. Is that something that you kind of have front of mind here over the next few weeks to try to get done?
No, I wouldn't say it's in the front of mind. I think that stuff will have its way of working itself out. I'm not losing any sleep over it. I feel like I think everything happens, you know, in its own time. And I think the chips will fall where they need to fall. So whatever happens, you know, I'm not really overly concerned with it. It's not losing any sleep. I think just coming out and playing basketball is my emphasis, my focus. And I can't wait to get started with my teammates.
How do you kind of go through these next few weeks? I mean, it's the first time you've been in a situation like this where you can sign a new deal, right? Like, do you just kind of go out and do your job every day? Do you kind of regularly talk to Danny and those guys about it? Like, how do you think you'll approach it?
I approach it, you know, normal, like any other start of the season. Just try to, you know, come out and do my job every single day, like what I've been doing. I've kind of had almost every role here in this Boston Celtics uniform since I've been here, so it's nothing that they really can throw at me. So I'm ready for whatever the season, the challenges may bring. I think that I've gotten better, you know, since I've been. I'm gonna continue to get better. People think like this is your final form, or I think I have a higher ceiling than most people think, and I can't wait to keep working until I get there.
You mentioned having a higher ceiling. I mean, obviously, third pick in the draft. That's, you know, people come in expecting you have a pretty high pedigree to begin with. But what leads you to believe you are going to be able to take, you know, a big step forward this year in your fourth season in the league?
I didn't say I don't want to put any expectation on it. Like I said before, for me, it's just my mantra is to come out and just hoop. No expectations, no clickbait, none of the above. Just coming out and just playing basketball and seeing where that leads me.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports analysis and highlights, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.